are made up of minerals. And minerals can be identified by their differing properties. So let's look at the rock table. Now, geologists rarely rely on color to identify a mineral, because even the slightest impurity in the solution can change the color. So if we look at quartz, this is the most common mineral on Earth, and it's made up of the two most common elements, silicon dioxide. So this is in its pure crystal form, but with magnesium, tin, aluminum, we get all kinds of varieties. Rose quartz, amethyst, citrine, smoky quartz, and so they're a branch off of the quartz family. But geologists prefer to rely on crystal structure, cleavage planes, chemical composition, streak test, luster, magnetism, specific gravity, and hardness. So in mineralogy, it's all about comparison. So this mineral's cleavage planes to this mineral's luster to this. But with hardness, this is a property influenced by the crystal structure and the chemical composition at the molecular level. So we looked at two samples. We might think these might be in the same crystal family because they're both purple. But if we did a hardness test up against a known constant like glass, then we would find this sample would cut the glass. So it's harder than glass. Turns out it's an amethyst, a quartz. But this sample, the glass would cut it, because turns out it's a fluorite. Very similar, but not quite. Now, a mineralogist named Friedrich Moe made a hardness scale. Oh yes. He wanted to place the minerals between a scale of 1 and 10. So graphite is, talc and graphite are a 1, and diamonds are a 10. And there we can see our fluorite and our quartz. And you know, graphite and diamonds are actually allotropes of the same carbon, but they're different crystal structures. Whew. You know, it's amazing how people can live above such a valuable commodity like diamonds and not know anything about it. And then people from the outside come to harvest this commodity, and that original sense of people's, value and community changes. And we know this happened in California with the gold rush of the 1850s, but it also happened in South Africa and neighboring countries with the diamond rush of the 1880s. The De Beers family began buying up all the diamonds they could until soon they had a monopoly. And then, they wanted to promote engagement rings, diamond engagement rings. But they'd been around for centuries. But it wasn't until 1477 when the Archduke Maximilian gave a diamond engagement ring to his fiancée, Mary of Burgundy. And in 1477, diamonds were extremely valuable and rare, and only reserved for the wealthy and royalty. But De Beers wanted to change all that, starting in 1880. They wanted to make diamonds available to the common person. But they did that by providing the supply, but also by increasing the demand, by launching one of the most effective ad campaigns in our country. They linked their diamonds with longevity, love, and of course marriage. But diamonds are very valuable in industry as well, because of their hardness and high specific gravity. One bling to fix. So graphite has a carbon structure. I want it to go on. Graphite has a carbon structure in which each carbon atom is bonded to a neighboring carbon atom using a combination of covalent sigma and pi bonds to form these continuous sheets. And the sheets are bonded together using van der Waals bonds, which are produced by the weak electrostatic attraction between the opposite charges on the surfaces of adjacent sheets. And diamonds have a carbon structure in which each carbon atom is bonded to 4 carbon atoms using covalent sigma bonds to form extremely hard cubic or octahedral crystals. Now, the igneous rock kimberlite, where diamonds are most often found, originates closer to the mantle than to the surface, so diamonds that make it to the surface are actually metastable. And this means it persists outside of its normal stability field and yet does not spontaneously convert to graphite. Now, it doesn't convert because the amount of energy required required to break the chemical bonds in a diamond's carbon structure is substantial. And I mean, cooling, particularly fast cooling, removes the energy in a system needed to break those bonds. This is one of the most important features of reconstructed polymorphs. The reactions to return one polymorph to another are quenchable. Diamonds. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. A man named Mo made a hardness scale. He did right to classify minerals. So I prefer a man who is the hardest of all the jewels. A talc, gypsum, calcite may be low on the scale, so diamonds are a girl's best friend. Fluorite, apatite, orthoplace, getting harder, but they can't cut glass. For that you'll need some quartz fast, topaz, corundum, got me in a conundrum, but they all lose their hardness in the end. Isometric, triclinic, tetragonal, rhombohedral. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. So where are we gonna find them? India. Siberia. And Brazil and South Africa. Talk to me, Friedrich Mo. Tell me all about it. There may come a time when a lass needs some graphite, but diamonds are a girl's best friend. There may come a time when that carbon is compressed, pressure and heat, you'll get a diamond hard as concrete. Some are deep and some like to creep to the surface like Angola diamond sprites. The hardness in excess, the thinness I long to caress. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. I've heard of igneous minerals being strictly plutonic, but diamonds are the hardest we've found. And I've heard of metamorphic minerals with decent hardness, and they say they can change. But for me, there's just no exchange. Time goes on, and the pressure's on to find the perfect man and crystal for me. If I find he, I'll decree a marquee like a banshee. Girl's best